Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. Let's call this video August Hot Takes. I think hot takes, probably I took it from Lisa. I think so, I'm not sure. It's kind of a catchy word and I'm going to just steal it. August Hot Takes. Probably the other regular name would be August Favorites or something along these lines. So let's jump right in. First of all, a little advertising. My life purpose readings, which are astrology sessions basically, with a tarot oracle reading, tarot map style mixed reading thrown in at the end as well. And these sessions are in-depth look at your astrology chart. So we look at your talents, at your gifts, at your blockages, limitations, shadow, where you might have, issues and lessons in life, where you need to build your character, and where things maybe just flow wonderfully by itself. And these readings usually you get like once in a lifetime, so they big readings, they last 2 hours, or actually they last around 1.5 hours in my case, but 2 hours when it's a live session, because you also put input in, so I usually give like half an hour for you to and me to converse, but like the information, bulk of information, I would say takes about 1.5 hours, and that's the recorded video version. You of course are most welcome to record the live version as well. It's all up to you, but I would suggest you record it because you will return to this reading later on as well, and you will hear different things. So I always, based on feedback I got from the clients, ask people to actually rewatch this video in maybe 6 months or in a year time, because you will be maturing, and yet this information will be still ringing true, and it will be hopefully helpful even later on. Okay, so these readings are deep. They I would say psychological and practical as well, because we look at the cycles you are in right now, what's going on in your life, what cycles you're going through, and that's really interesting and very often helpful, because when you're going through Pluto cycles or some deep, transformational or Uranian even cycles, sometimes your life can be like totally uprooted and shifts and it changes and it's tough, or if it's intense, and usually it's for the better, right? So sometimes when you know exactly the dates of this whole process, it's really helpful to settle in and actually go with these changes rather than resist them. So these readings, I call them on my website life purpose readings. They are on special until 3rd of September. And I have to prepare beforehand, so when you purchase, you have to put in your birth date, your birthplace, and really important for these readings, you have to know your birth time, okay? And it has to be as exact as possible, so even minutes count. Yeah, for these readings you need to have that. So I invite you to take a look. Also, I invite you to sign up for my newsletter. It's not a regular newsletter. You don't get it regularly. I'm not a regular person like this. I just don't like the every 2 weeks. I only write when I have something interesting to share, or a special with you, or some discounts, or books I read, or whatever, videos. Sometimes I make videos only for subscribers. So please subscribe. Link will be down below in the description box. There's one more advertising I would like to invite you to. On this Wednesdays, I'm going to catch up with Karni, Zor, and Karni is an astrologer. We used to do a couple of webinars together. A lot of you came to these webinars. Karni is an amazing, inspiring person. She's organizing a trip to Egypt right now, and she came up with an idea that you also can join online. So it's not that it's going to be live trip from Egypt for online people, but at a very reduced price. You will get some recorded videos, some processes. Karni is always a process person, so you always go and experience things for yourself. I'm going to get Karni onto my channel, and we're going to be talking about it. She's going to prepare a little presentation for you about Egypt and how she sees journeys in general, So please come over. We will be live on Wednesday, and it's going to be hopefully interesting for especially those people who are looking for a little bit different journeys. Okay, it's not to be just a tourist, but actually have an intention with which you can go to a place, not just Egypt, just in general. But because I know a lot of us love Egypt, it might be really interesting to come and see what Karni has to say. I actually, Mary Henlin, she does this amazing Mary figurines, and this is like Nut, Stella Maris, right? And I always connect, because I had personal experience of connection of Nut and Mary together in a couple of meditations during walking with Mary. So yeah, I have a special connection and special affinity with Nut from Egypt, and I'm curious, so I signed up for this journey with Karni, and I hope they're going to, share some knowledge. There's a couple of people that are running this journey, not just Karni, and they will be paying special attention also to art, to to gods, to culture, and to ancient Egypt, and so on. So it might be really interesting. And recently, which is kind of quite fascinating, Mary Henlin, I added this little red thing, but Mary Henlin has created this for me as well as a Mary, Kali and Nut kind of combination of energies, because I believe all the goddesses are connected, and there is a special lineage running through many of them, and I also speak about it in my Mary related like Mary inspired class, where you can get it on my website. You get like a presentation of the lineage and similarities between and attributes different goddesses hold. There's also a section on tarot with many beautiful Mary inspired spreads that you can try out for yourself. And also I share like my rosaries, my inspiration all around me that I'm living with every day about Mary. And I want to in some way liberate Mary just to be a part of Catholic Church. I think she's much more than that. So you can take a look if this is of interest. And I just want to share a short story with you. I was walking with my sister recently, and on the pavement, just under my feet, I see this like thing lying, right? Like it just, and I picked it up, and it's a rosary with some stones. It actually comes from, well, I'm not sure. I don't know if I can make it. It's this type, this Mary, and is this Fatima? I think it's Fatima, this church. But yeah, it's like this bracelet rosary, and yeah, it just was lying under my feet. So I found it just a couple of days ago, which I thought, oh, Mary was like, giving me a sign. I always love those signs and synchronicities. I live by them. Okay, I trust them. I know they mean something. And I guess if you believe it, it's true, right? Okay, so a couple of things I want to share with you. So there's a couple of new decks that I was happily playing with in August. One of these decks is this Glowwood cards that I won actually in a competition. It's like a 78 card deck, and it's got this amazing like strange artwork, okay, quite modern, as you can see. It's got also a lot of symbols, and it's like ecology of a forest. You got plants, you got lichen, you got soil, trees, flowers, insects, and so on, mushrooms. And there's a cool companion book with it as well. It's a very intriguing concept. I'm still like playing and seeing how I can best use it practically during my days, and because it's quite a interesting take on divination, so I can totally understand it, how I can learn about plants and stuff and forests from this deck, but also how I can use it to inspire myself practically every day. And it's an interesting take. It's like the creator, what's her name? Lisa Bilecka. It sounds a bit Polish, that surname. Lisa Bilecka. It's a Glowwood cards. She created this deck, and she, you know, put a lot of work into it. Okay, there's spreads, there's awesome like illustrations, symbols, and so you can go with many different layers of this deck. And I actually really am kind of curious by it, so I'm still figuring it out. It's not like the simplest deck to use, I would say. You've got to, you know, be willing to test it and try it, but I think it's rewarding. It kind of brings back some, it's as if you were to like a slow food, you know, like slow divination, because it takes like this is from today, you know, like it takes a while to decipher like what's a symbol here, what's going on. I will do a review of this deck at some point, but I still need to play a bit more. Another deck that was just a great reader, you know, it's this carte postale deck by Jane. If you like vintage images, this is a deck that you probably will like, and you can check the review of this deck. I've done it on Instagram. Have I done it on YouTube? I think I've done it on YouTube as well. Carte postale tarot by Jane. It has, you know, a lot of vintage images from vintage postcards, and it's Rider-Waite-Smith based, but it takes a little bit of different, you know, take on a couple of Rider-Waite-Smith images, so it's not a clone of Rider-Waite-Smith. It has its own voice, and if you love that vintage feel, that carte postale tarot, it's quite a cool deck for just using based on, you know, attraction to the artwork, right? Another deck that I just received not such a long time ago, a couple of days ago, and I'm going to do a review of this deck, is this Purple Diamond Tarot. I mentioned it in the interview with Queen Osset. That is like a previous video, so if you haven't watched it, please do. And I like the artwork, and I like that this deck is also, it has its own voice, and it uses a little bit different imagery for the basic Rider-Waite-Smith you know, foundation, right? So it's quite cool. I'm going to actually do a review based on like my favorite cards from this deck, and maybe some cards that I don't get so well, but it comes also with it's self-published. It comes with a book as well, and I actually really love the voice in the book. It's simple descriptions. It would be great for like beginner's deck as well, and kind of for intuitive readings too. Another one that I was binging on a little bit this month was also the Kitten Chops Tarot. It's the Major Arcana only deck, and it's great for putting up on the altar or, you know, on your table to just inspire yourself. So I was drawing like one archetype a week, or sometimes a couple of days. And I was just playing with these beautiful images because I love the Playful Heart Tarot by Zara. And I know that Zara had also an interview about her decks on Masha's channel, Tarot by Masha, so you can take a look. I also would like to invite Zara to Inspire Tarot Map sessions as well, because I love her artwork, and now she's working on Tarot de Marseille as well. But these cards are really big. They really cool and well printed on this like paper, buttery rose petal maybe paper, so they're not great to shuffle, but it's only 22 of them, and to put them on the table as an archetype for a week or a month or whatever, they're really sweet. On the bottom she put like a little images of reversed meanings of the cards, so that's also interesting take on it. I shown this deck on my YouTube as well, so you can take a look. Another one that I really love, and something that I kind of keep coming back slowly and at different times, is this Ancient Ritual Postures, and it's totally different take on divination. You know, it's integrative or interactive. You use your body to access the cards, to access the access the posture. It comes with a beautiful book. You play you know, like a drumming track for you to access that alpha state of mind when you can relax, this meditative state. You put yourself into the posture of the ancient sculpture, and that's on the card. There's beautiful poem attached to each of the card, and you see what comes up for you. I love this deck. So this is by Belinda Gore, and I have an interview with Belinda. I think it's really great, so I advise you to take a look at this. And I wanted to share that, you know, I have been doing different like shamanic journeys for a long time. I think I found this book of mine, and the first one I did was in, let me see, what year was it? It was 2008. I think I was living in Australia then, and I did this 6-week shamanic journey course when they were teaching, you know, how to work with the drum and how to go into that imaginative state. You know, I love it because you let your imagination just play. And so we were connecting, you know, with power animals, with guides, with all these different aspects of the world. And in each culture, you know, usually the world was separated in these different parts. There was a higher, a lower, middle world. People were calling them differently, but in all probably of your ancestral cultures, there was some form of other world, you know. And I remember that I was doing this, like these journeys, and you can always like write, like you should be writing them down. Okay, so I have these journeys from 2008 written down. You can like have little drawings. I remember that I've done different journeys. Oh, I found this image in the book of Kirke. You know, I was doing all these journeys with tarot cards as well, and trying all these different things. So I've been going with it, not, you know, every day or every week, sometimes a couple of times a year. I was doing them with different astrological moments, like full moon in Scorpio journey in 2012, and 2013. So sometimes, you know, it's nice to draw all these different images, because sometimes it's hard to describe what you go through during a journey. I was doing, you know, journeys for different cycles, like Pluto square Pluto. I was doing a journey for like different, accessing different type tarot cards. So all these different things. And I was also writing down a journey with, you know, with the ritual postures when I got the deck. And it was really fascinating. My first journey was with the snake woman, and I had all these different images that came up. So I highly like encourage you to try this, you know, and you don't have to get the deck for it. You can just use any tarot cards, but the deck with the postures is just another, you know, another something different, because these postures were kind of, they our legacy, humanity's legacy. So I think it's a very interesting thing to do, and something that's wonderful to, you know, try out for yourself. And also when I was going through my things, I found this project that I started at some point. I was doing different collages about astrological like planets and, you know, points. So that was the sun card that I did at some point, and then I saw that like here I have like some practical things that you can do practically with the sun. So you want to take a walk to aid circulation, what Bach flowers is connected. And this is also from my Australian time, so it's a long time ago. Vitamin D, herbs that strengthen the heart, gems that increase solar energy and vitality, essential oils. In the body, the sun rules the heart and cardiovascular system, which gives life to the rest of the cells. And then I was having different like affirmations for the sun. I have confidence to be myself at all times. I know that my link to the force of creation supports me at all times. I am vitality and joy. I am creative. So that would be my sun affirmation, and also a little bit more astrological kind of keywords. So express, power, creative self-expression, joy, vitality, you know, like a little description of the sun. And then I saw that I've done the Venus card as well, and so there's also like affirmations and kidneys, and then I've done the moon with the beautiful silver, and I've done Mars as well. And I think that's where my project stopped, but I have all the other colors prepared, so maybe I will do it, you know, over the time now, and that I will do the rest of the planets. Would be cool. A nice project, you know. And I have some collage stuff. I found some collage stuff here, and so I think it's going to be interesting. But I wanted to just share it as an inspiration. Maybe you'll be, you know, also doing it. There's this cute little project that I'm still like researching. So this is this next generation tarot. It's only 10 cards, so it's more like oracle cards you can add to your tarot or oracle readings. It has this children of major arcana. Sophie McKay, she connected different major arcana as parents and what children would they created, and she wrote a story for each of the children, and you know, there's a divinatory meaning as well for it, so you can take a look. I did a ASMR review for it. A lot of people didn't like it, but you know, a girl has to try things, right? So the next generation tarot, it's a cool one. And I'm also digging into this one, the Book of Doors, which is an ancient Egypt kind of creation oracle deck, and it's really good. You know, there's that much description about divination, and that much description about information on hieroglyphs and gods, goddesses. Like, it's really nice. I like it. So you can learn a lot from this deck if you're interested in ancient Egypt, the Book of Doors, divination deck, an alchemical oracle from ancient Egypt. Really interesting, really great. So I think that's it. Also Mara Tarot, you know, that tough deck, which I did also a review of. You can take a look. I'm like, will be working with it right now. And the other decks, 2 decks that I wanted to mention from August is the Jacques Viville from Midnight Tarot. This box sucks, but the deck is amazing. So if you're into the Marseille deck and you like Viville style, you will love this one. So I check it out. I did a review of it as well. And the Daydreaming in Situ Tarot, it's another one of the collage decks, and it's a really beautiful kind of, not kitschy, but it feels 70s in some way through the font and the border, you know, but it's a beautiful collage deck. I also did a review of this deck, and it's an interesting one, and it's a cool reader. If you into collage decks, take a look at this one. There's a couple of interesting collage decks out there, and this is one of them, and it celebrates also meditations on art history. So Annie has used quite a different artworks. Okay, I think I gave it to you guys. That's it. Let me know, what are your passions? I would love to hear about your passions in comment. What are you into right now? Books, movies, essential oils, perfumes, you know, share with me, because you know me, I have got Mars in Gemini, I've got a lot of air in my chart. I'm curious, I want to know about you, so please share. And I see you another time, and please join us on Wednesday with Carney. We're going to be sharing about her online possibility for you to join online trip to Egypt that she's organizing in October. Bye.